All right, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Owner's Manual. And we got a special guest here today. But before we get into it, I just want to say, subscribe to me on YouTube, Silk Swade, SILKSWADE. And that's pretty much on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, all social medias. Find me on all platforms. Spotify, Tidal, Apple, all that BS. But going back into it, we got a young legend in the fucking making. Entrepreneur, artist, and that's the thing, this dude got bars. Welcome, Cloudie.
Thanks for having me, Silk.
Thank you for coming to the podcast, man. It was something that was like almost long overdue, but it was a timing thing, you know what
Most
I'm saying?
definitely.
Like, everything has to fall into place. Do you believe like timing, or you just like try to make things go at a rapid pace?
See, it's the thing about me. I like to take from everything. So I believe some things for sure have to be timed right, but other things you just gotta go and that shit gonna happen like that for real. Like snap decision making, shit like that. But yeah, it's good to be here on the Owner's Manual podcast. It has been a long time coming for sure. Been talking about this since my hair was blonde for real.
Man, I just want to say shouts out to the Mile High Club, Mike Teasy, for the original link. And I'm trying to figure out, like, because it's all, through cannabis, but how did you get your start in cannabis?
So I got my start in the cannabis industry for real. It was my birthday, my 21st birthday. I walk into a Puff. Shout out Puff Cannabis, by the way. I walk into Puff Cannabis in Hamtramck, actually, Hamtramck, Michigan. And I see an old friend there, and they offer me a job at the new one that's opening up at the new location in Utica, I believe. And they offered me the job. I went there, and I worked there for about 2 years. I've met a lot of amazing people working there. I met Mike from the Mile High Club there. I met GT, the rapper. I've met several cool people. Shout out Big Earn. Shout out Icy Crocs. Met a lot of cool people there.
Yeah, I do remember he had that drop. And he pulled up, and I saw you on this story. That was funny, actually.
Yeah.
So, like, you said 21st birthday, walked in, just offered you a job. You didn't even apply. You just said, yo, you want a job? You want to work?
Pretty much. I walked in there, just looking fresh as I usually do. Just like, yo, you want to work here? Sell some weed? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, shit. I've already been doing that shit, so now I just do it behind the counter.
What do you think it takes to be successful, like, at a cannabis retail?
To be successful in cannabis retail, I believe you want to go further in it. You want to like be willing to, you just get part of your personality to like make connections with other people. Like I like talking to people, I like connecting, collaborating, and that's just really how you do it. I met so many artists, musicians, tattooists, tattoo artists, skaters. The thing about cannabis for real, it just connects every group of people. Yeah. That's the beauty of it for real.
I will say this too, like I used to work in insurance before I got in cannabis,
Yeah.
and one thing that like really opened my eyes is like the level of talent in the industry is so high, it's like concentrated, because literally I walked into a store, I think it was Nirvana and Centerline, but one person is a photographer, other person does clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like this person growing, this person rapping, this person DJing. I'm like, everybody got like so much talent, and we just in cannabis.
Most definitely. It's a huge industry of creatives for real.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, I think, we look for a place to like be ourselves, you know what I'm saying? You think you got that opportunity to be full Cloudie at Puff, or was it just like a stepping stone of where you wanted to be?
I was definitely myself there. I'd say what I got from there was like the networking was really amazing. In 2 years, I've met and built a lot of stuff. I started modeling for a couple different cannabis brands. I did some stuff like that. Did something for my good friends over at Red Eye Cannabis. Shout out them folks. Front Porch, I did some ads for them. Just like a pre-roll, like infused pre-roll company. Did some stuff for my buddies at Shango, some stuff for Nobody's Home. But it's just been fun, collaborating, networking, seeing all these cool people, and just like the energy transfers is real, Like you go meet people and like it inspires you, like it could like connect you to another idea. So
as a former salesperson myself, used to work for Canalicious, had to go in, you see like how many sales reps trying to sell the store shit do you think would come in on a daily basis?
Listen, man. A lot of these cannabis retailers, the employees there, they'll tell you a lot of stuff that isn't true. But what I will tell you, what's gotten me, like what made people fuck with me there and my customers, people still hit me up. I don't work in retail cannabis anymore, but people still hit me up for my recommendations and stuff. As I told them, you follow a couple different rules. Smell the weed, look at it, harvest date. Just off the top, a couple of things. Like the nose knows is what you hear a lot of people say. And don't get me wrong, you'll be fooled sometimes. Sometimes like you'll see some really fire weed, but it don't be hitting like that for real. But you still gotta trust your nose.
And you gotta trust your nose, man. And I think that's something like that's important to all of us that nobody really asks. And also they put the wording on the labeling so small. But why is the harvest date important when you're shopping for flower and concentrates?
You just want the freshness, and as time goes by, like the terps get less concentrated and the weed gets doesn't hit as hard as it should. Just little stuff like that. But where we are in the marketplace right now, in like Michigan at least, people don't really care about like that type of stuff. They're just there for like the THC percentage. And I just hope like in a couple years, like the market matures more and people realize, well, that number don't really mean end all be all of everything regarding the marijuana. We'll get there when we get there, right? People who smoke dope, smoke that good fucking dope, they already know what's smoking.
Man, I definitely hate the fact that so many people, like, you can be smoking for 20 years and think you know everything about weed. And I might be able to clap to you. You might know what you know, but if you focus on THC percentage, you're just studying numbers to strains that might not even be accurate. And that shit really fucking grinds my gears. Veritas or Veritas, don't talk to me, stay away from me.
Man, they be re-rocking strains in the stores, at the facilities. I can get into a whole bunch of shit, but I don't want to get blacklisted by the cannabis. Why would I want to do that?
Not today, at least. When we get a little bit more leverage, we're gonna let our nuts hang a little bit more. But it's coming though, for sure. And Puff is a reputable retailer. You know what I'm
great retailer. I fuck with the people that are heavy.
Yeah, they obviously doing something right. Shops, I was talking about like 11 shops across the state or something like that.
Yeah, continuously building.
What are some like slimy shit you've seen other retailers do?
Man, I've been to a couple different ones. I'd say like just renaming the stuff like really boldly. Like I don't know. Like people aren't dumb, You can't fool people, is what I like to think. I don't know. That's something. Quality control. Like sometimes people will just pick stuff off the floor, right back up, put it back into the jar. On the floor is crazy too. Like on the sales floor and like seeing that shit happen, that's like you can get written up for that. Like that's a fine pretty much, yeah.
Damn. So if you catch like one of your coworkers like butts and then they drop a nug, you think they should have to pay for it? Like,
nah, write that shit off.
Write that shit off.
Like, there's a disposal bin. Go put it in a disposal bin. You should not have to like pay for that shit.
Mm-hmm. What's like if you could change one thing about this cannabis industry, what would it be?
Appreciate your people more. Cause like in cannabis, man, it's like a revolving door. People work in a place for like a year, 2 years, shit like that. And that's not like me, not for me, honestly. I've honestly had a great experience working in the cannabis industry, but like for a lot of my friends I've seen, or just like people in general, they're really jaded with the way they're treated. They'll build up a brand themselves pretty much. I have a friend working at this dispensary, and they pretty much like started off like a edible company within the dispensary kind of. And she went hard, man. She was on the ground with the marketing, going crazy, building that shit up, going to all the events and stuff. And now she doesn't really even work there anymore for real. Like, so it's like they didn't appreciate the work she did. They just, very replaceable.
Did they like undervalue her or did they take advantage of her?
I'd say undervalue for sure.
Yeah. It'd be like that. Like it's like what I said, there's so much talent in the industry. Sometimes it's concentrated where you go to one place and everybody do something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's the thing for me as an entrepreneur. If I had people under me, like that we rocking, we mobbing out. They see me, you know, being successful, making money. They're like, yo, I want to make some money too. I need to be making this and that. And I'm like, I feel you. But sometimes you can't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't pay people what they deserve. But like, that's not the end all say all to the situation. You know, like if they like a real hustler, if they got a side thing, plug their business in. You know what I'm saying? Like these business owners have a lot of leverage. Their network is huge, and I know they got a couple of employees that would kill for like a repost by one of their bosses or something.
Most
like that.
definitely.
And like, it's that small. Like that's that part where it's like, all right, I see. You know, they working hard for me, so they can go hard in this. You know what I'm saying? And if I want them to keep doing that, let me at least support their side hustle a little bit, so they can come in here comfortable, knowing that they can still do what they love, and that, you know, because I mean, I've been in a situation where I feel like I have to choose between what I love and that for sure, my, you know, keep the bills paid and lights on and shit like that. But I feel like you shouldn't have to choose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a part of, like, I always said, like, I'm not gonna let my my job like define me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my
100%.
career, like, I'm so into music, and I like, unless I get a music gig, then I'm like, yeah, that defines me. But going back to like the retail like life, one thing that like breaks my heart is when I talk to a bud who was like passionate about the flower, like they love this shit, they love connecting with people, and then like
They're jaded.
yeah, 2 weeks later they just like, all right, this is, you know, certain percentage, and I'm like, dog,
Man.
like don't, like you talking to me, I don't give a fuck about no THC percentage. Like I want to know who grew it, harvest date, and like who is it really blowing like that? You know what
100%.
I'm saying? So how do bud tenders keep that passion and not like get jaded?
I'd say, like, you know, every time someone walks in the store, every patient, it's gonna be somebody new, something different. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's unexpected. And when, like, to keep that like happiness, that spark to like keep you going, working there and not feel jaded is like you want to connect and meet with new people and just like talk to all these sorts of different individuals. You know, I like networked with so many people. I got like, I'd say like 400 followers, honestly, off of just being there, like on the clock, just like meeting people and just getting different Instagrams and just like talking to people. And that 400 turned into like 1,000 pretty much. And I've just gained fans through that. Just, yeah, you know, like you can walk in there and just like, all right, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to do my job. You know, that's cool too. But if you want to like do a little bit more, you know, I like using my job I like to take advantage of that to, you know, work through my goals, you know, as an artist, you know, as a musician.
Right. And then there's like brands that like make incentives and stuff like that, like Sparkplug. Like back in the day, is that something that Puff fucked with? Like
Sparkplug. I fuck with Sparkplug, by the way. That was cool. I fuck with certain aspects of it, you know. I was like, I'm very transparent with my patients when I used to work at the dispensaries. And like, I'll be like, yo, this is a good deal we're running right now. But also, if you buy it, I'm also going to get a little bonus off of this if you'd be interested, you know? I wouldn't just like go out of my way and just try to like just sell whatever, you know?
like, if you buy this, we all win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You
you
know?
can't be like that.
Yeah, you know, you gotta just make it make sense. And if that's what they're even looking for, you know, yeah, like you're not just gonna be like someone walks in there, they're looking for some flour, and you're like, yo, that's cool, but we're selling these seltzers, by the way. You want a seltzer? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
How often would that work? They'll be like, oh, you know what? I might want a seltzer. Like, or is that just like rarely? Like,
honestly, like, it depends on the person. Like, I see a frat white boy who lets he drinks a White Claw. I'll be like, yo, man, you tried this? Off the top, I can't even remember which. Wink, maybe, yeah, Wink. That's like a seltzer. Their stuff was.
and for those who don't know, Sparkplug is basically an incentive program that brands pay the butchers that work at stores. If they sell their product, they make a little bit of commission, and they get creative of how they do that. The company I used to work for, they said they were against it because it would basically promote, like, it would have brands just pushing their bad shit, and like the bartenders not caring, getting too jaded. It's like, if you only care about that.
I don't know about that.
But that's the thing, that company ended up doing it. So it was just like, it was a thing, like if you want to stay competitive in this industry, like, you really got to.
That's the thing, though. Like, there's just so much money generated in the weed industry. You seen that post recently? I forgot how much, like, Michigan alone generated in cannabis, but it was something billion. It was something billion. And it's like, what's wrong with some of the retailers making a little bit more money? You know, there's definitely money to go around. I don't think wealth should be hoarded. but get a bag though. You feel me? Like shit shouldn't be handed to you. But
Now, you said through that you made definitely a lot of networking connections and shit like that. What were some of like brands that turned into your favorite over time working
oh
there?
man, shout out Peninsula Gardens. They make pretty good flour at a very like affordable cost for like just the consumer, you know, and not like through the back door. Peninsula Gardens are pretty good. Shout out Fira Booth. They make really good flour. Shout out Doghouse. That's my good people. Shout out Doghouse for real. I like their stuff. Man, I'm more of a strain guy too, you know. One of my favorite strains right now, I'd say, is Gelinade. That's one of my top strains for sure.
See, that's the thing too. It's like, is there? It's like I'm a strain guy as well, but it's like depending on who.
Yeah,
grows
depending on who grew
what
it
I'm
too, you know.
saying? But
Yeah.
like, do some of those brands grow that strain, the Gelinade?
Yeah, like shout out Exotic Matter. They have a really good Gelinade strain right now. Man, I'm trying to think who else had it. Shout out Benny Canna. That's my good friend too. He has Benny
Is that
Canna.
a person or a place?
That is a person.
Okay, I was
That
about
is a
to
person,
say.
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though.
He has the
Somehow,
packs.
some way that name came up on my Instagram. I didn't know what it was. That's actually crazy that you even said that though.
Yeah, man, I'm a little tapped in for sure. Just a little bit, not too much. Shout out Willie J Peso too. That's the homie. He was on this podcast too recently. Yeah,
In fact,
that was a really good episode. I learned a lot from that.
Appreciate it, G.
Yeah.
I haven't even smoked all day. Niggas been depressed all day, but
Yeah, I hear you.
it's all straight, man. It's all straight. What was the weekend looking like for you? What did you do this weekend?
Man, I was in the ER actually. I had some fucking stomach pains. I had like a lower intestine issue, but shit worked out. It's all good now. So I get that shit checked out.
One of those in and out things, or is it gonna be like continuous?
In and out. I was just having like some stomach acid buildup or some shit happened. But
Was you like out in the field, or were you like at the crib, like? Cause it'd be different when it's like an emergency. Like you push that little pad on the mic. Yeah, there it is. That's
yeah, it was like I had pain for like 3 days in a row, and I was like, all right, let me go check this shit out before like I start working and shit. You know, I'd rather get it checked out than like I'm at work on Monday and I'm just like, damn. You didn't even, that was a whole. Oh, you didn't even mean to make it do that.
I did not need to do that. It'd be like that. But
Terrible rap edit.
so you wanted to frequent the ER, or was that just a? So you wanted to frequent the ER, like your medical history long, or
Nah.
that was just a one
I
time
just have-
random?
I just have like, my dad is like very sickly. He's always in the hospital and shit. So, yeah, I would say I frequent the ER, but not for me specifically.
Right. And sometimes, some people just, they have medical conditions that cause them, like I had cousins that they grew up with sickle cell, anemia. So like every couple of months, yeah, Troy's in the hospital. Shouts out Troy, shouts out Kieran.
Man, God bless everybody. God bless the fam.
And like seeing them in the hospital made me hate the hospital. And seeing cause I've never, when I would, like you said, when you go there for support, sometimes just seeing your loved ones in pain is just the worst thing. And it's like, I can't, yeah, they saving lives in that motherfucker, but everybody sat around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is bullshit.
What?
I don't know. And yeah, hospitals, that's a whole different conversation. But, you said, working in cannabis allows you to network and do the things that you love to do, like music and stuff like that. When you start doing music, just off rip?
Man, I started making music when I was 16 years old. Yeah, one of my first songs on SoundCloud got like 40K plays. And I was like, after that, I was like, oh man, that's just pretty fun. And people like my shit. Let me just keep doing this shit. So I've been having fun with that. But I didn't really take it too seriously during my adolescent kind of. I've always just been making music. It was just kind of a hobby. But it was also just what I did, it was just a part of me. And I would say I created Demon Realm 87 with my friend. Weird tangent kind of, but listen, this is it's my brand, my clothing brand / skate company / lifestyle brand / label. It's pretty much everything I put my stuff under, DR87. That's why you'll hear in my music a lot. I have these tags, and you'll hear in the tag it'll say Demon Realm 87 or Yo Cloudie, just to it's for branding, Yeah, so I've made clothes. I've made music. It's all just kind of just all connected together. Yeah. I also have we have like this little mascot. His name's Demoji. I'll pop a picture up when I edit this later when these files get sent to wherever. He's right here somewhere anyway. Yeah, but it's like we kind of created this like universe inside the brand itself. And it's like you go in there, like he hand smuggles the goods from the demon realm into our world pretty much. So it's like some cool lore aspect to it. And it's just fun, you know? He does graffiti, he does skateboards. It's cool. But going back to the music, honestly, I've been making music since I was 16. I started going on tour recently. Like last year, I'd say 2023 is when I really started like going out to more shows and stuff. And when I started doing that, my followers doubled, like more ears, more listeners, everyone's fucking with it. So it's like, yeah, I should have started going out, taking this shit a little bit more seriously earlier, but it's, you know, it's nice now that people fuck with it, you know? It's great. I'm enjoying the love, especially in out of state. Man, the love in Nashville is crazy. Shout out to people in Nashville. Texas is dope. New York's dope. Brooklyn, I can't wait to go back there. Going back on tour too, but we'll get to that. I'm not gonna jump the gun. So what's your next question?
In the sense of, were you when you dropped when you were 16, was you already smoking? Like, was you smoking weed when you dropped at 16 or not?
Oh yeah, man. I've been smoking. I don't recommend it to smoke weed that early. It definitely affected my brain chemistry. Marijuana is just part of my life now.
But how often did you smoke back then? Was you skipping school to smoke, or was it like
oh
on the
yeah,
weekends?
man. I was going on adventures, skipping school to smoke weed and shit, dude.
Oh, damn.
Back then, it was really the journey that got you high. Like, man, we were walking, me and my friends, we'd walk through the snow, because we live in Michigan, you know, we'd walk through snow to get to the plug spot, get some gas. We'd always have some fire, though. Like, I was blessed to always smoke gas. There's no mid allegations on my name, and if you can find any, come fucking find me, motherfucker, because it's non-existent. Smoke gas only.
Facts. No, yeah, you definitely like brought me back like a Jimmy Neutron like brain blast, because like my first time ever smoking, it was with my older cousins, and they literally like were like, come here little nigga, you coming with us to the plug. Had to walk through this like parking lot through a church and shit like that, and like go to the plug spot, and we rolled up there and smoked on the way back. And they was like, hey, they stopped. We was already in the parking lot of this church. We're like, hey, hit this. And man,
yep.
Whatever dropped to my D so quick, pause. But like, I was just coughing a lung. I was 11.
11.
Like,
that's
and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And then I had a friend who's like my dog now, shouts out his time, but like I think when I was like 13, 14, somehow, some way convinced me to steal my mom's weed. And so like I was like the plug that way. And then like by high school, I was just like really known for it. But I never skipped school though. Like I was actually like, I was a good kid in quotation marks in comparison to what other kids was doing.
You was Hannah Montana for real?
Huh?
You was Hannah Montana?
On the weekends for sure. Like yeah, I kept it clean Monday through Friday. Like even after school, I went to worked in the warehouse for Canada Dry. Like got out at like 2:30, worked at 4 to 8. By that, I'm like tired as shit. So like, it wasn't. I ain't really. And I played sports too. So like, I had to like be there. Coaches was teachers and shit like that. So, I had little room for error. But when nobody was looking though, for sure. Yeah. Do you remember like the first like time smoking? You was like, all right, this strain right here is my favorite strain.
Yeah, man. Well, actually, let me tell you a different story real quick, actually, because my favorite strain when I was gelling it, I mentioned that earlier, but the first time smoking, was a pretty crazy story. It was with my friend Amin. Shout out Amin. You're going to watch this later, buddy. He came to my house. My folks were home. He brought Pineapple Express, and we're young ass kids. We don't got nothing to smoke out of. He's like, dude, I watched this YouTube video. He made a fucking bowl out of an apple, and we're smoking out the apple. And I'm like, wow, I didn't expect to get high. This shit's pretty silly. It's fun though. I'm pretty blowed right now. And then while I'm sitting there, like enjoying my high for the first time, there's just a beautiful silence, and then my friend starts eating the apple that we just smoked,
Crazy.
and that was really funny. It was a really funny, memorable experience.
Is that the equivalent of like Superman and the roach or nah?
Oh,
He ate
I
the
don't
whole
know, man.
apple?
He ate the whole apple, dog. That shit was pretty crazy. Like,
Damn. Well, I mean, I think dog should have just brought 2 apples, like you would think. But
now we went back to the crib later, ate some biryani. Shit was gas too.
what's biryani?
Biryani, it's like
Biryani?
biryani, yeah, like the rice, like the
Burgani or biryani?
biryani.
Biryani.
Yeah,
Okay.
good food, good
You
food.
got to culture me real quick.
No, yeah, I'm South Asian for the people that didn't know. Yeah, I'm Bangladeshi. Shout out Bangladesh. You feel me? Yeah, next time you go to a Bengali restaurant or Indian restaurant, get some biryani, get some lamb biryani or some chicken biryani. Shit gonna be fire. Don't get no weak ass buttered chicken, bro. We don't even really be eating buttered chicken. I don't be eating buttered chicken like that, dog. That shit weak. Like, go eat some real food, dog.
Do people often like try to place incorrect nationalities on you to try to guess what you are?
Oh yeah, I love that shit, man. I like playing the racially ambiguous card. I'm like, people on Instagram know me as like a silly, funny kind of guy, you know. So I don't really take myself too seriously all the time. So I'm always just goofing around and shit. So people like assume my race, and I'll just go with it, you know. Like, someone thought I was Persian once. I was like, yeah, man, I'm Persian. I got Persian, Lebanese, Hispanic, all sorts of Hispanics, Salvadoran. Man, I've gone a bunch of different stuff.
Man, because I was thinking you kind of got that Key and Peele effect. Like you could have said anything. I was like, oh, word, no. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, well, you heard it here first, guys.
But thank you for rolling this, by the way.
Yeah, it's not my best work. I have a rap. How to work what we had. You feel me?
What's your preference with rolling? I saw you got the Dutch over there. I haven't smoked the Dutch since I lived in Lansing.
Man, me personally, bro. I'm gonna smoke a fucking Dutch. If you're too good to smoke a Dutch, bro, you don't even gotta hang out with me. Like, I don't really care, dog. I'll smoke a backwood. I'll roll a backwood. Not that I can't roll them, but it's like something about a Dutch. I just enjoy it.
I think a backwood is perfect for like a group of 4. Like personally, like I'm somebody like when I go to the studio, when I make music, I pack that bowl or I take the whole bong with me and just sit. I don't need to blow through like a whole zip, you know what I'm saying? Like some artists do. And like my question to you, how would you describe rapper weed?
Rapper weed. Well, me, how do I describe it? That's a good question. Well, for me, the type of weed I like I mentioned, like Gelinade, I like sativa strains, stuff that gets like my mind like flowing, wired. That's when I make some of my best music, for real. That's what I like. A lot of people don't like that shit. That gives them anxiety or like, you know, some people get fucking heart palpitations from that. That's just weird. But it's like, for me, that shit just speeds my brain up. Like right now, I'm going too fast.
I always like growing up, I would hear rapper weed, and honestly, I thought it was just like cheap weed. Like I'm like, all right, they blowing through that shit. So
no, like exotic 3.5s is what rapper weed is for sure.
Right. But then I got into the industry. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but this was literally before Za.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is when like nobody had deals with grows and stuff like that. Like, and now it's like, because I thought that because there would be like rumors and allegations of like rappers with music videos with like fake money and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like if they really on set that long, like how much weed are they really smoking? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So it always become like, all right, like blowing through that much just to like, cause you get really stuck if you blew like a whole bag of Zy just to like shoot a couple scenes and shit like that. So I never really thought it was like good weed until like that's what they say, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's 200 an eighth. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, nigga, like
that's outrageous. Like that's like, in no world would I ever spend $200 on an eighth. Like that's just preposterous.
What's the most you spend on an eighth?
Man, most I'd spend on an eighth. Well, I'd walk in a dispensary, I'd probably like 50, 60, one of those eighths, like if you're a booth pack, you know, like a cherry poppers, lemon poppers, something like that. Or like you mentioned, like the Gelinade by Exotic Matter, shit like that. But it's like, think about rapper weed. like you were talking about, like street weed's always been pretty good. I'd say like the best rapper weed was just like the really good street weed that was there back in the day before like metric and all the shit got involved and all that, you know.
Yeah, that's funny. I really do appreciate because like your experience growing up, like you said, you never ran a bad weed. My experience, I've bought bad weed, never sold bad weed. Like that's my part because I'm from Lansing, so like before I really had a plug, I was buying from these like two white kids, like in the boonies. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the only plug.
You gotta work with what you got.
Right, and then like I started like going to parties and shit like that, like outside like my school district. Started meeting people, like, oh shit, like no, we straight. So like by the end of high school, I was already plugged up. Like it was straight. But like starting out though, like I had I think it was bad weed, and then I got good weed, and then but when I got good weed, I got introduced to the med market. You know what I'm saying? Like talking like 2014 type shit. Like by then I'm like, all right, bet. Like he's a caregiver. I had never heard of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, we can legally do this. So I mean, I was getting like, I remember the first like actual strain I'm like that like put me down was like Skittles.
Yeah.
Man.
Skittles, a lot of that shit fire, yeah.
But like
I know you remember when like the purple shit first came out.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, this is purple. Here, take all my money.
Right.
And you smoke it like
or it's hard to break down or something like that. Like it's still fucking wet type shit. Like,
man, that shit was
definitely. I do remember that shit. It's like this. It's in the grinder and it ain't breaking down. Like
grinder's breaking.
Yeah, but it's funny. Like I think I'm in the minority box because like when I go to see, I like to smoke like indica. Like when people say they got demons, like I'm talking about my indica. Like because it's trying to get me to go to bed, but I'm fighting them bitches. Like I don't know. And but I smoke sativa. I talk to myself. But.
I like good weed. That's my thing. Like indica, hybrid, sativa, whatever you want to say. I just like, my preference would be like sativa strains, you know, like citrusy stuff for sure.
Got you. So you I know you got some stuff coming down the pipeline, but what are some like essentials that you take with you to before you go record, or like
recording essentials, man? Oh boy, that's a good question. Always have some za, Bev. I'll fuck with a Gatorade. I fuck with blue Gatorade, you feel me? That's a good one. Get my electrolytes right, you know what I'm saying? In the studio. Nah, like right now I record with my friend Jacob. He goes by Gemini. Shout out the homie, he's my engineer. And I'll just be at his crib and we'll just lock in and we'll just make fire there, you know? But when we get more assets available to our disposal, it's gonna be even better. But right now, shit's sweet.
Yeah, I used to like have a pack. Like I would pull up with like a 6-pack of vitamin water. Like I used to go to like an actual studio. And now that I live out here, I just record at the crib. But
nothing beats the crib, for real.
It's like sometimes though, I don't feel like I'm as serious because I got all the time in the world. Like when I'm paying for studio time, like I pay for like a 4-hour block, or me and my dog will go on an 8-hour block. And like when we there, like every punch count. You know what I'm saying? Like it's because I don't know, I got a lot of competitive friends, so like we always like trying to go. It's like, all right, like it took you that long to do that song, man, it's gonna take me this long. You know what I'm saying?
It's fun to have that competitive aspect to it for sure.
But when I'm at the crib though, it's just all cool. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like my rate of like I could definitely like write a song in a day. And I think I don't need to write a song quicker than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I like to take time with my lyrics, you know, make sure like they have like double and triple entendres and shit like that. But like at the crib, I haven't finished a song, like written one, in probably about like under 2 weeks. Like it probably takes me about 2 weeks to do something. But I'm also doing more shit like podcasting and DJing.
Oh yeah, no, you're a busy guy for sure.
Yeah,
buddy.
like I wasn't doing that in Lansing, so I had a lot more time to just be like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Like my approach to music, kind of like I don't really do too much features or much. You know, you'll hear my tapes, and it's really just me on it. And the reason for that is like I'm a solitary guy for real when it comes to that. Like I'll just lock in with myself and just bear my heart out on the beats for real. So something I wanted to do this year for sure was start collabing more with other people and just like, you know, experiment with other people's musical vibes and shit like that.
So, you know, going back to like musical process and stuff like that, is there anything that like you do differently each time, or is it all like a consistent?
Yeah, so I'll hear the beat and I'll write to it. It takes me I'll write a song within anywhere from a day to like a couple weeks for real, you know. And once I write that, I'll like make a demo on my phone just to remember it. Then I'll go to my friend's house at the studio. We'll lock in, record that, and then just a matter of like engineering it. You know, that takes a lot more time. The mastering process is like, I'd say like the most difficult part in making music is like finding your sound.
Oh yeah, for sure. It only takes time.
It's trial and error for sure. It takes a while, but once you like know what you want to sound like, and when you were like working with somebody that knows how to work with you, it's really important.
So what's some things coming down the pipeline for Cloudie for 2024?
2024, the album Voila dropping the 25th February of this year. It's gonna be awesome. Following that, in March, I got a tour coming up. We're gonna be back in Nashville, back in Texas, back in New York. Gonna visit Ohio, a lot of places in Michigan. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, it's gonna be with my good friends Loki and Nadim. Shout out the homies. But yeah, it's really just a continuation of the last tour. The previous tour was the Color Coded 4 tour. This one is the Drug Star tour. So he posted. I'm gonna be doing more vlogs. And the thing about the vlogs, people really enjoy the vlogs, and I really like making them. If you've been on my page, you've probably seen a couple of those. But yeah, it's been a very enjoyable process just going on tour and just filming it and just experiencing the music making process, man. It's really fun.
What's some things that you learned on the last tour that you're gonna bring on this one?
Man, I'd say setting up your show tape. You know, I'm really excited for this upcoming tour. Like, I have a really solid show tape. I know these songs back and forth, you know, and just knowing what you're performing is like really important, you know. Like, you're putting on a show for the people, and you know, making good music is the easy part. I'd feel like, you know, and the performing it is, yeah, and the making the content part, you know, that's the thing. You know, nowadays it's not just music. You got to know how to do all the
right. You got to know how to make the good music, market the good music, get it in the right place and off the right speakers in the right rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like. And that's where, you know, the whole machine comes in. Like, and, hey, I feel that because I'm a one-man army, and sometimes I be burnt the fuck out.
Man,
like,
I hear you.
The process, like
100%. Yeah, I got good friends behind me helping me out too. You know, it's a team effort. Everybody wants to win. You know, and it's like, the thing about Detroit, it's great here, man. People want to work with each other. You know, it's great here. You know.
Yeah, if you're consistent and put out quality work, everybody want to work.
Everyone wants to fuck with you. You know, if you're, you know, it's great. Yeah, shout out my friends Elijah, Eli Forstacks. Shout out Felt Carpet. They really helped me with my, how do I say? Art direction. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good word. With the cover arts and everything like that. It's great.
So, if you had to make a Cloudie blender, what are some sounds, artists, inspirations you would put that like in that blender to make a Cloudie smoothie?
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good question. Yeah. Like including artists or like other medias and stuff.
Artists, like, you know, like people that inspire you, things that inspire you, like, you know, like I said, like we said, you know,
okay,
it
cool.
takes time to find the sound, you know. Sometimes it's like, oh.
I'd say what inspires me, media-wise, JRPGs. I love video games, man. RPGs are great. Artist-wise, I really like Tony Snow. He's great. Rewind's really good. D Savage, he's a pretty good inspiration. But like the Detroit scene is just really inspiring. Just everybody around me, you know, a lot of the local homies too, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Somebody was saying like it's like it might be really hard to like get into the Detroit rap scene because there's so much talent. Like, how do you feel about that?
There for sure is a lot of talent, you know, everything from Baby Smooth to Baby Tron, Babyface Ray, man. There's just so much fire here. It's like a rabbit hole, you know. Once you really like a certain artist's sound, you can find a lot of similar artists in that similar vein, you know. Like you listen to Baby Smooth, you probably fuck with Lucky too, you know. You know, like that.
So, all right.
These.
Top 5 rappers in Detroit with the word baby in their name.
No order. Baby Money, Babyface Ray, Baby Smooth. Man, I'm blowed right now.
We about to do some dabs too. You down?
Oh yeah, of course, always.
I ain't never seen Cloudie tap out. That's one thing about dog.
Man, I'm gonna keep smoking. My music, my subject matter for sure, and my music is honestly just smoking weed and just like pretty girls.
Fact.
And the full spectrum of the emotions you feel about both things, weed and pretty girls. You can feel a lot of different emotions. Good ones and bad ones, man. I can't give up either.
You can't. We're about to do a dab. We're about to do some Peachy. Shouts outs to Peachy gang up here. Got it. Actually, where did I get that shit from? I actually got it from Pure Options when I was in Lansing. So shouts out.
That's good affordable rosin, by the way, you know.
That's that part. And I was talking to my dog at work, and like honestly, I can't buy like the brands I want to buy, strictly because like this fucking Key Glock line. He said, "I hate what I love because sometimes I love that shit too much." So like if I get the concentrates that I love, I'm gonna blow through that shit in like a day or two and be like, all right, now I gotta get some more. And the brands I like don't make baller buckets. So like I'm trying to cut down. I have this theory like as we get closer to 420, smoke more flower, and then as we get closer to 710, smoke more concentrate. But I like what I like.
I like the way you think. Yeah. It's like seasonal fruits and vegetables, you know?
You smell it. Because you know around 420, that shit's gonna be like super cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then 710 is 710, so.
Facts.
Oh, shit. Here. I call this bitch Frankenstein, old dirty bastard, because this bitch is.
Reliable?
It is reliable, and I feel like I'm heavy-handed with my dab, so it just get dirty kind of quick. I cleaned this bitch a couple of days ago, bro.
Man, I want to get that Puffco Proxy, like the whatchamacallit one.
See, they dope, but like if you want to get blowed, you know, rip big clouds and shit like that, I recommend this. But if you want to like taste the terpenes and shit,
yeah, that's cool. Proxy, but I want it for the gimmick of the thing, man. I'm
like, are you doing? Look who you?
What are you talking about? Like, come on, what?
That's funny as hell.
Fuck around by a monocle and a top hat. I'm looking for excuses for things.
What's on the Cloudie wish list right now? Like,
I gotta get my shit tinted. I'm right around in fishbowl, bro. This shit fixed up. That's on the wish list. More Za always. What was the original question? Just things I want?
Just the Cloudie wish list. Just like on your Amazon wish list. Like if money wasn't an issue. You just twirl that like oh, there you go.
World domination. But like in a cool, chill way though. like we all get like Yeezy slides type shit.
Is that the first thing you would do as president?
Fuck around, make some Cloudie slides first, man. Like I fuck with Ye, but like I need a cosign first. I'm not just gonna like. I feel like you'd be really mad about that if I just started selling, like giving the slides to the people. Like
the president.
Yeah, I mean I'd chop it up with him first. I feel like, Ye, if you're watching this, fuck with the kid. I think I tell a lot of people, man, I'm a brown boy in this music shit. Nav walked so Cloudie could run. You feel me? I respect the people that came before me, and it's cool. You know, like I have a unique perspective I'm bringing here. You know, from my South Asian roots, it's pops up in my music too. You know, and that's what I like about the genre of like hip hop and like the experimental hip hop I make. It's like everybody has something they're putting into it. You know, there's a lot of talent you can find everywhere. It's beautiful.
What's something
Big dabs.
that you haven't said yet that you want everybody to know about Cloudie? Yeah, damn, we fried this up.
Facts. Something everybody should know about Cloudie. I'm here to have fun, guys. Like, if you like having fun, fuck with the kid. We're out here to just like, you know, make good content, have some laughs, listen to some fire music, smoke weed. You feel like that's just the way I feel about it. Like, and if you didn't know, now you know. Type shit.
For people that want to follow you on Instagram, where can they find you?
You can find me at Always Servin with a Z. ALWYZSERVIN. Always Servin.
That's a new account, right?
Yeah, I had to make a new account. Follow that one. And you can find all my music, all my links through there. It's gonna be cool.
She got hacked? Or what?
Yeah.
Damn.
That type of shit. But you can find me on YouTube at Yo Cloudie. Find me on Spotify at Yo Cloudie. Voila, dropping soon. Go listen to Bandit's Magic. It came out last year. It's still bumping.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you real in real life, that shit don't really matter like that. You know what I'm saying? So. And what's something that you would tell the person that wants to be the next Cloudie?
Be true to yourself. Genuinely, just be yourself. Have fun doing what you're doing, and don't worry about what other people think, man. It's your world, you feel me? Like, make what you want of your legacy. And if your legacy is to have fun and make fire music, then do your thing, bro.
Cool. Any special shout outs? Anything before we wrap it up?
Shout out Demon Realm 87. Shout out the homie Spines. Yeah. Shout out Mike Taylor at Mile High Club. Shout out Silk Suede. We're out.